Good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 for Tuesday, January the 9th, 2024. The market did continue to move higher, but initially overnight and starting yesterday, we did get a decline. We got what ended up being an ABC down. It reached support at 4767.50, almost hit it right on the nose, and then started to rally again. In fact, it did put in a very decent rally today, put in a slight, ever so slight new high at 4804 before again pulling back. Now, I'm looking at it here on the hourly chart. I continue to view this as the finishing move for the, and actually the 3 belongs up there. Let me just see if it's still there. There it is. Let me just bring this down so that it's not just hanging out in space there. So minor 3, minor 4, we're in the minor 5th wave, and it would appear that we've completed 5 waves up, except this wave right here, it doesn't look like it's even complete. The pullback, again, very shallow, holding higher levels, holding the hourly 200. So there's still a lot either that we have a little bit more to go, or we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 of 5, 2 of 5, and we're going to get a decent rally again tomorrow. Either way, I think we may ever get a decent rally again tomorrow. But if I'm counting it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1 of minor 5, so this would be minute wave 1 of minor wave 5, well, then I think maybe we get up to 48.25. Still, it's a decent little bit of a rally. Then put in a second wave, then put in a third, a fourth, and a fifth, which is going to suggest that we are going to get much higher than likely here. If you remember yesterday when I was talking, I said, well, we put in the fibs for the minor 5th wave and where they would come in. The first being that 0.618, which is not the most common. Now let me open this back up. Let me go out 1. So I'm going to take it out to that 4-hour chart, open it up again, and now let's take a look. So again, here's where we have these fibs that go along with the minor 5th wave. Equality, what's this at 49.92 3/4? 49.93, 49.95, somewhere in there. Just below 5,000, that's equality. And you begin to wonder, it's like, will the market really produce enough steam for it to get there? After we saw such a strong sell-off to start the new year last week. And so all kinds of things, I guess, could be associated with that. And now we're in a new week, and so it's new money, and so et cetera, et cetera. So while the wave count certainly can extend, so that a minor 5th wave certainly can reach 5,000, most definitely. But it's all going to come down to the structure, which is why I'm telling you, if this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're in the 5th wave of that minor 5, yes, I would expect it to extend. Yes, I would expect it to kind of hit 48.81. It needs to get above 48.41. So those still would be the expectations. So new highs. But if I'm looking at this, I'm going to take this back down again so we can see inside of this. If I'm looking at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, we get a little bit more for a 5, and it's minute wave 1 of minor wave 5. Then this level and beyond become a reality, or tend to be a little bit more realistic in terms of what is the capability of the market. Now, we are moving into earnings. Hands down, we have seen so much stuff roll around earnings. When we had earnings reports previously, as we got into them, the markets just picked up steam. We saw a huge amount of money being put into, right back in here, This is back in, no, actually, even further back. Excuse me. I'm going to go back even further. That was December. That was the Fed. Well, which was, a huge amount of capital coming into the market. Let's go back out one more, and I want to take a look inside here. So we really need to go back. This is October of 2023. Here we are in November. This was like when we had numbers and the market reacted, and that was a breadth thrust indicator that triggered there. I think it may have just produced additional stellar market breadth, advanced decline numbers on this particular rally. And, so when we get to see that ahead of what the market, is getting ready to report. So if we get to see them here as the market begins to get ready to report earnings. And so, for example, NVIDIA, although it did kind of sell off at the end of the day today, got up to 540. So 538, 539, and then kind of slid into the final half hour here, but still ended up, 890, almost $9 on the day. Money is being moved back in. They've put out 3 new chips. They made an announcement, and that came out yesterday. Everybody started throwing their money back into NVIDIA. I'm sure a lot of it had to do with the options that were trading, et cetera. So, but what's really going to be going on here? If they're putting in new money, because of course AI continues to be front and center in everybody's mind, and in actuality, I have to be honest with you, it is front and center in my mind as well, because I do believe it is going to be the next sector that will produce incredible moves in the market as it develops, as it grows, as it begins to really blossom into something that really is going to be very useful in business and government and everything that we touch, basically. Sort of like how we saw the internet take over business and how we do business, and how we've seen different sectors within computerization, within algorithms, within engineering, all the different factors that kind of come in, and the development of all of these things. And now we're seeing the next realm of that come in via artificial intelligence. I don't think that we even can begin to touch the ramifications or the possibilities of what artificial intelligence is going to actually end up doing. Now, again, I can't tell you I'm going to be alive to be able to witness a lot of that, but I will tell you that the industry right now, massive amounts of money are being placed into it. When you happen to think that Microsoft has put $3 billion into ChatGPT, that Google has put $3 or $5 billion or even more into their artificial intelligence product, Bard. So they're getting ready. They will not be left behind. So in terms of these advancements. So again, how much is going to come in now? Because ultimately, folks, I am still looking for the markets to put in a larger correction in the form of a primary C wave to complete that cycle wave 4. So I think it's like this is all prep work. You're getting in now. We will do that correction, and then from that low is where I want to be like all stacked up on all the good stuff, all the what's coming type stocks, and there will be plenty in artificial intelligence in the tech sector, and they're going to be these uses are going to be all over the board, right? In medicine, in transportation, in everything we do and touch. I don't know about where you live, but I can walk out and I can get into a driverless car. Let me tell you, I live in San Francisco. This is just a little tangent here. I live in San Francisco. The wireless cars are provided by Waymo, which is owned by, I believe, Google. And they're Jaguars. They're Jaguar SUVs. and they're very nice and they're extremely comfortable. And I've used them. I'm not going, they don't go out on the freeways or the highways. There's pretty much just city driving, but never had a problem. Never had a problem. This technology is pretty solid in my book. Now, this is just the absolute touching beginning. So I'm not even going to go there, but we're seeing, NVIDIA, because the expectations would be that they're going to blow the doors off once again. They got all these great earnings, they got all these great products in the gaming industry, et cetera, et cetera. They're going to blow the doors off. Stock just this week is up. Oh, Lord, this is 30 today. It was up almost, we're going to call it 39. And so that was, and then yesterday. So when we came in on yesterday, Friday, the stock closed, let's say 480. So it's put on $50 in a couple of days here. What's it going to do in the next 2 days? And that feeds the NASDAQ and that feeds the S&P. So that's why I'm now throwing these things out there to say it's not impossible. Nor does it mean we're in a brand new bull market. We're just dealing with things that are happening every single day. In preparation for something, I am still looking for that larger leg down, not a crash, just a larger leg down, which will correct the excesses that we have still swirling around in our markets. Now, getting there, unfortunately, I'm going to lay it out. If indeed, so what we've got going on is like, here we are, I'm going to bring it back down to the hourly so that we get a little bit closer look at it. Okay, so we're taking here, this is still minor 4, we are still within the minor 5th wave. I am going to give you both sides of this story. If this is just the beginning of 1, 2, 3, 4, we get a 5, I'm going to label it minute wave 1. Then we're going to have a minute wave 2 pullback. And that's likely going to be 50 to 62% of wherever this ends up. That's the low, wherever that high is. So again, you're looking like maybe, if it gets up to 48.25, 47.70, 47.50, those would be very decent pullbacks for a wave 2 and then a wave 3. And under that assumption, we're finishing up a strong rally, but it's just going to be wave 1 of 5. So that we have 2 of 5, and 3 of 5 will be the big one. 3 of 5 will be the one that'll just start taking us closer to 5,000. Under that view. Now, the second view that I have is that we are in minor 5, and this is minute 1, minute 2, minute 3, minute 4, and we're beginning to do the minute 5th wave, and that minute 5th wave looks like it will be extended. Now, it can be the longest wave because wave 3 would not be the shortest. Wave 1 would be. So wave 5 can extend. And again, as we've often talked, Elliott told us it's like out of waves 1, 3, and 5, 3 is most often the one that's longest, the strongest, and extends. Wave 5 is the second. So when wave 3 just doesn't extend, like put in its own third and side, then you're going to look for it in wave 5. So on that respect, I would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 of 5, 2 of 5, 3 of 5, 4 of 5, 5 of 5. So still, I'm getting above 48.41. That's the goal, right? Minor 5 would be expected to break above the existing high at 48.41. Okay, so 48.25, no. That I can see in terms of a minute wave 1 of minor 5, and then we pull back. I think it goes a little bit higher, to be honest with you. But let's just say, but the other fibs that come into line for a 5th wave kind of do fit. That we get 1 of 5, 2 of 5, 3 of 5, 4 of 5, 5 of 5, 48.61, it fits. And that's if this is already minute 1, minute 2, minute 3, minute 4, we're in minute 5. We've got minuet wave 1 of minute 5, minuet wave 2 of minute 5, and then we have minuet 3, minuet 3, minuet 4, minuet 5, we end up here. Now what comes up above that? Well, we have here for minor 5.618, 48.81. Still, also, all of these levels you'll see start to make sense. It's a good 100 points from here, but we've been rallying pretty strongly. So unless something comes in to crack the back of the rally, and there's going to have to be some kind of a news event. There's going to be something drastic happens somewhere. It could be within our own country, but something will break the back of the rally. Because right now, economically, well, we got, let me say, we do have Thursday, Friday, we've got CPI and PPI. So, yep, we got those on Thursday and Friday. So those have yet to be known. And could that crack the back? It can, but I'm not really suspecting that they're going to come out that poorly. Initial jobless claims, yep, we might get a breakdown. But again, that's on Thursday. What happens if we get a really decent rally tomorrow and we end up here? We end up and we get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We put in that new high. It would be a seriously good rally, but it can happen. Don't forget the other day we had a 67-point rally, 68 ES bucks. Those are pretty big moves. We do it again from up here or up here. All right, close to 47.89. We get a good thing going. Boom, we're up here. And could be done. Just saying. Now, we need to actually, if you're a day trader, you got to play from the long side for most of what we see. It's not been the easiest trade, particularly the NASDAQ, which I'll talk about in a minute. But if you're a swing trader, there's still going to be swing trades, and you're going to use the spiders, use the different things that are available to us that you can get in and out of more easily. And then I think that just if you're position trading in individual stocks, well, how you want to position yourself, that's up to you. And again, I don't make any recommendation. But what I am saying, here is the fibs. Here are the fibs for a fifth wave out of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, continuing fifth wave. Here we go. Now, let me tell you right off the bat, it did reach 0.618. So this fifth wave has already reached 62% of wave 1, right there. And put in a slight new high above there. Could be done? Yeah, could be. Minute wave 1 of 5. Then we come down from there. So that's scenario number 1. If it's all done and we got 1, 2, and we're going to start to go up again, let me just double check. Yeah, we're opening up a little bit lower. Nothing too severe. So again, we'll wait and we'll see. But here are our fibs. Support, you see where it is. It's going to be all the way down. And if we got the 5 and we're looking for a small 2, find it all down in here anyway. Over in the NASDAQ. The thing you're going to notice is that I have shifted it back, and I'm just doing that because this one, let me just get my cursor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, being that if I had this as a minor wave 2, it would be minute wave A. But it is already telling us that it's going to be a zigzag, right? If this is wave A and wave A is 5 waves, well, you get a 3-wave wave B, you're going to get a 5-wave wave C. 10 to 1, we're going to end up above there. If a wave 2 can't. So I pull the next one out. And not that I shouldn't use it in that terminology, but I've got to keep alternates in here. The market is always going to be the one that tells me, folks. I don't just make it up out of the blue. I'm attempting to interpret what the market is telling us as of that day, as of this structure. But I have to change this to a 4 to demonstrate that it's like, well, it looks like it might just continue, put in a new high, get itself back up to here, and it could do it on the back of NVIDIA. It really can. It was doing it fine today. Plus, there are other stocks within it. AMD was cooking alongside it. Even Apple got itself back above. Well, if it continues to go above, it just adds to the push. And mind you, it is, like it's going to happen in the S&P, a finishing move. If that ain't the finishing there, and I'm beginning to now think it's not. Why? Because it put in 5 waves. It did not break the rules. It did not produce a new high above 17,165. But I want to tell you, if this is going to come down as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which I find no other way to count it, it seems pretty dang clear to me. And this little 5 does not appear complete. So I put up a fib that tells you 100%. This small 5 would equal the 1 at 16,900. And the next one after that is 17,050. Now, if that's just going to be wave A, and you get a wave B, most of the time, wave C is going to equal wave A. Well, right now, even at this high, right? 633, it's 500 points, 550 points. If you put 550 points to this low, where are you? You're above there. Wave 2 can't do it. So rather than saying, well, I'm going to hold it until that moment, I'm going to let you know, well, this could be what's happening. And again, a lot of people, like you said last night, I get one-liners. The NASDAQ is crashing. It's like, no, actually, that's not crashing. It may at some point in the future, but it ain't doing it today or tomorrow. Again, unless there's something that's going to break the back of the market. Trust me, there are plenty of things out in the world that can do that, but it'll be so ugly, we won't be giving a crap about why. We're just going to, the people will be, it will be a panic. All right, so back to the market. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's what it's going to end up being. We can count it as A of minor 2, but you're really putting the pressure onto how far it can and how far C wave can get. It's not going to be a flat because it's already a zigzag because the A wave's 5. There's no way around this. It's 5 waves up, and 5's not done yet, but it's 5 waves up. And that could be minuet wave 1 of minute wave 5. We'll get a pullback for a wave 2. We'll get a third wave, a fourth, and a fifth. So again, we're out here. This, by the way, is the minute wave 5. Will be 100% of minute wave 1 at 17,606. I got another one out there, which is the minor 5th wave. I can go out here and I can show you. Yeah, minor 5th. I never did take those down. So I've left them up there. They just weren't showing. So again, this is what may happen. I'm not guaranteeing anything, and neither is the market at this point. But I'm just going to track it. Now, I think we got a little bit more. Then we pull back, and then we rally again. No matter what. No matter what. Even if it's a 5-wave A, and we get a 3-wave B, there will be another 5 waves, if you want to call it C, or I'm going to call it 3. We got that much going. But that much I can tell you, whether I don't care what I label this right now. This is going to be followed. This is going to be an A. I think we have a little bit more. It'll be an A wave. Then we get 3-wave B wave. Another 5 waves up. And then we'll go from there. All right. I am going to leave it right there. And the next update will be on Wednesday, the 10th of January.